All right, welcome back to Hot Stove. I'm Mark Feinsand, leading the league here in information. So, Mark, let's get right to it. The posting deadline for Japanese pitcher Kohei Arihara coming up this Saturday. What more can you tell us?
Yeah, Arihara was posted on Thanksgiving, and his posting deadline will be the day after Christmas. So happy holidays to him and whoever ends up getting him. This is a guy who's 28 years old, right-hander, looked at as sort of a mid-rotation kind of guy, not the frontline guy that Tomoyuki Sugano, the two-time Saramura winner, who's also been posted, could have when he comes to the big leagues. But this guy's pretty good, 61 and 53, 365 ERA in 6 seasons. Just 2 years ago, he had a 2.46 ERA. A lot of teams that are sort of in that mid-level contention, not quite in a full rebuild, not quite in a ready-to-contend mode, are looking at him. The Rangers are a team that has certainly shown interest from what I'm told. And, we'll know Saturday whether he's coming to the big leagues or whether he's going to stay in Japan.
Now, because of how the rules have changed with posting in terms of, before you used to be able to pretty much spend almost as much as you want. I know the rule, they've dialed that back a little bit in terms of paying the teams in Japan. Does that open up more teams in Major League Baseball to kind of bid for his services?
I think it does. And, I think when you look at Arihara in particular, he's been compared to kind of Kenta Maeda, Kyle Hendricks. So you think about what the market for those types of pitchers would be, and that's probably what you're looking at here. The posting fee is 25% of whatever the total contract is, and the percentages shift based on how much the contract is for. Whereas it used to be, teams could go and offer, you think about like the Tanaka posting situation, and teams were offering crazy amounts of money. So yeah, they've curbed that to sort of give a chance for any team to be in the mix for these guys now.
Hey, Mark, let's stay on the starting pitching market. You mentioned Sugano. Of course, there's Trevor Bauer, Jake Odorizzi, James Paxton, Masahiro Tanaka, all free agent starting pitchers. But how are the Cincinnati Reds now changing the dynamic of the market now that it seems like there are good starting pitchers available through a trade through Cincinnati?
Yeah, we've known that Sonny Gray's name had been out there for a while. Now, all of a sudden this week, Luis Castillo's name seems to be the hot one on the trade market. And obviously, if you were to put Castillo or Gray on this free agent market, after Bauer, and depending on what you think of Sugano, they'd probably be the number 3 and 4 or 2 and 3 pitchers on the market. So, for teams that don't want to necessarily overpay to get a guy like Tanaka or Odorizzi or Taijuan Walker, now you've got some options. It's going to cost you prospect capital to go trade for these guys, but there are some legitimate arms that the Reds are dangling out there. And if you're in a situation where you think that one pitcher is going to put you over the top to get to the playoffs or to really make a run in the playoffs, that might be worth going after him.
So interesting trade topics there. Also, the free agent market has expanded this offseason a little bit more than normal because there was a high number of players who were not tendered contracts. Give me a hot name out there on the market who people aren't talking about, but teams are keeping a close eye on and who could end up with a pretty decent deal.
Well, my buddy Castro was talking about the big guys, Bauer and LeMahieu and Realmuto, in his very unique way. But a guy who's getting a lot of press out there, not a lot of press, I should say, a lot of attention from clubs is Jurickson Profar. Teams really like the idea of these versatile players who can play multiple positions. You've seen what the Dodgers have done with a bunch of guys on their roster, and Profar is a guy who fits that profile. The Royals are interested. The Padres are interested. There are several teams out there who think Profar could really help them, and I think, he's not going to get the attention of the Springers and Bowers, but he's a guy who's certainly got the attention of front offices around the league.